I'd like to now just, speak with Idris Loan, who's in Srinagar. Idris, of course, there have been initial trends that we discussed a little while back. I wanted to just, get your opinions on Udhampur, where Jitendra Singh is trailing, and also on the Anantnag Rajouri seat, where Mehbooba Mufti is trailing as well. Give us a roundup of how you're, seeing these trends coming in.
Well, Shivam, if we also look at the most of the exit polls that had also shown that especially in the Kashmir region, all the 3 seats will go to national conference.
Yes.
And looking at the trends at the moment, all the 3 seats, all 3 candidates from the national conference are leading. If we talk about the Jammu region, Udhampur seat, where there is a tough fight between Dr. Jitendra Singh and Lal Singh. Lal Singh right now is actually ahead of Jitendra Singh, and we had also seen a lot of support on the ground when it came to the rallies. Although we did see Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi also campaigning for Jitendra Singh in Udhampur seat. But we did see on the ground that Lal Singh had a lot of support. We also cannot forget that Lal Singh does not only have the support from the Congress but also from political parties like the National Conference and PDP in Jammu region, as he's the candidate from the India bloc. So at the moment, it does seem that Dr. Jitendra Singh is going to have a tough fight with him. On the other hand, if we look at Mehbooba Mufti's seat of Anantnag constituency, after delimitation, what was done to Anantnag's seat was the areas like Poonch and Rajouri, which earlier used to come in the Jammu region, were connected with this seat. So it was a little difficult for Mehbooba to retain that seat, especially after the delimitation, and that's what the trends are also showing, that National Conference, which is an alliance partner of the India Alliance Group, is getting a lot of support of the Congress in the Rajouri and Poonch areas, and that's one of the reasons we are seeing that Mia Altaf also leading in that seat. If we talk about North Kashmir's Baramulla constituency, there is going to be a tough fight, because we've seen since morning now either it's the People's Conference's Sajjad Lone or its National Conference's Umar Abdullah who's leading, and they're going to have a tough fight. But there is a third candidate also in the fray who's also not far behind, and that is Engineer Rashid, who's been languishing in the jail from the last many years. He's booked under Terror Funding Act at the Tihar jail, but despite that, he's fighting the election, and he also got a lot of support during the campaigning. But what we saw but we are seeing on the ground right now is also that he's also not trailing too far behind. So it's going to be a tough fight between these 3 candidates in the Baramulla constituency. In Srinagar constituency, the NC candidate is leading. The Aga Ruhullah is leading very easily, because the other 2 candidates, PDP's Wahid Para and Apni Party's Ashraf Mir, are trailing behind. And we also saw during the campaigning that Aga Ruhullah did have a lot of support from all the districts that come in this Srinagar constituency.
Idris, stay with us. I'd like to just come back, get more insights from you. As of now, there is just news coming in that, with the initial trends trickling in, the Sensex is down 1,200 points and the Nifty is down 50 points. Those are leads which are coming in as well as we track the leads and the initial trends of the counting, which began just a little over an hour ago. I'll just like to come back to Dr. Makrand. So, given the voter turnout in Jammu and Kashmir specifically, it was touching about 59%. Talk to us about what that says about the Union Territory.
Absolutely. I think that these elections are going to be keenly contested, as we just heard, but also the results keenly awaited, because this whole move of Article 370 and the abrogation of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir and the 2 union territories, I think the real test is the ballot box. But even as we speak, I believe the NDA has crossed the halfway mark as far as the leads are concerned. Of course, the India Alliance has also crossed 200, so that's remarkable. And I heard you say that the stock market has gone down 1,200 points. To some extent, that was expected, because the foreign financial institutions had cleared out a lot of their stocks. So there was some correction that was expected because the markets had reached an all-time high. But sometimes the markets have an uncanny way of understanding what's actually happening on the ground. So I think that the current trends and the current leads actually show that the India alliance is faring better than the exit polls suggested.
Definitely. I mean, and as you had mentioned right in the beginning, and what we have been discussing, these are initial trends, these are exit polls, these are all still predictions, and on the lead in which it is going at the moment, and we are going to have the final number, and that is going to be what we will need to believe finally. As of now, thank you so much. That was Dr. Makrand Paranjpai getting us, his insights on matters. Always a pleasure speaking with you, sir. I'd like to now shift focus to Idris Lone. Idris, coming back to you.
Idris, right, absolutely. In fact, same question to you when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, I also want to go further and ask you, what are some of the trends that you have personally seen emerge in your conversations with the people there? You've, of course, been tracking all of the election developments for a while now. What are some of the trends that you would say have been dominant?
Especially given the voter turnout that we saw
Right.
in this election in Jammu and Kashmir.
Well, exactly. This is the first election after the abrogation of Article 370. So it's also very important to see whether that has really worked for the Bharatiya Janata Party or gone against it. Although the regional political parties have been from day one saying that it was a decision taken without the consultation of the political parties in Jammu and Kashmir, and they do not really adhere to it. And that is has been their line that they want to get it back. Basically, if we talk about parties like National Conference and PDP, and it seems to be on the ground. We did see campaigning going on aggressively, especially most of the political leaders talking about the abrogation of Article 370, and that was the major point. And that's one of the reasons also we did see a lot of people coming out and voting in huge numbers. It has broken all the records of the last 40 years, and that is now to be seen whether it's really translated or acted for the regional political parties or not. But if we look at the most of the exit polls, what we saw in what we can say in the Kashmir region, it does seem that it is working fine for the National Conference, and all the seats, 3 seats in the Kashmir region might go to National Conference. But in Jammu region, both the seats were, according to exit polls, given to the BJP, and it seems at the moment that is not the case, because in Udhampur seat, where Dr. Jitendra Singh is basically lagging behind the Lal Singh, it seems that Lal Singh, who is campaigning aggressively in that area, might be successful in claiming that seat. So it needs to be seen within the next 1 hour or 1.5 hours. We'll get to know exact position of that. But at the moment, it seems that Jammu will have a different take when it comes to the exit polls, while as Kashmir, it seems it's going to be an easy win for the National Conference.